So I ordered a couple of raised beds off of Amazon. Believe it or not, this is 2 raised garden beds, metal containers. They measure 6 foot by 3 foot by 1 foot. So we're going to put them together today and see what they look like. Lots of little metal pieces. Get your instructions, package of screws, some white gloves to put it together with, some cross members for strength, and then all your metal pieces for your ends and sides. Keep that cardboard, we'll need it in a little bit to put on the bottom of the beds. So for the sides, it takes 2. Not real sturdy, but we'll see how they hold up. Takes 2 metal pieces for the sides and 3 for each end. Not sure how that's going to be 6 foot, but we'll get it put together. Even got a little screwdriver. Oh, and a wrench to tighten everything up with. Pretty simple. Put the screws and the nuts through the holes and tighten them up. All right, we tightened the first one with the tools that were included. We're going to go find a socket. So it takes a standard 10 millimeter socket for the nuts, and I got a little better screwdriver to tighten it up. And I'm wearing gloves because I didn't know how the sharp edges would be on this. When I get to the end, I'll put a link to these small raised garden beds. Probably going to plant some peppers in them when I get my plants, but in the meantime, got to get the beds ready. And today's the first day of spring, and if you saw in my short, I've already planted radishes, onions, beets, and cabbage in my other 2 raised beds. And onions and radishes have started sprouting. The cabbages made it through our cold spell we just had, so we're off to a good start. Beets haven't sprouted yet. Simple enough. There's one end. Let's assemble the other end. Sorry about the traffic. As I've said on my other videos, I live on a busy road, but the tops and the bottoms have been rolled in, so that's a good thing. Second end. Took the liberty of going ahead and installing that side. Pretty simple. Just nuts and screws in the holes, and you got two rods that go in the center, and we'll show you that in a second. So in the center, going across, you have these rods to give it strength. One at the top and one at the bottom. The rods are connected together with a little screw. I don't know if you can see it like that. It screws into the rod, and then they screw together like so. Instructions are pretty vague. It's no words, it's all diagrams. So they screw together like so, and then you take a screw it cooperates, and then this screws on to that screw. I think it would be better if it had a washer in here, And I may go check, see if I have some washers. Then you take a screw to the other side. This is to give it some rigidity to when you put soil in it to keep the sides from bowing out. And the center hole is still a screw and a nut. That'll help. All right, I'm gonna cut the camera off for just a minute and finish the other one. All right, there's the finished project. Getting an idea what we're gonna do is put it on the ground, put cardboard in the bottom. I got some pine bark and some soil, and we'll top it off with some Daddy Pete's cow manure. Still got to get Daddy Pete's cow manure, but we're going to put some wood in the bottom, the pine bark nuggets. Then we're going to put that Miracle Grow organic raised bed soil, and on top of that a layer of Daddy Pete's cow manure. Then the plants will come. So what I've done is leveled up the above ground bed, and I lined it with some cardboard. And next we're going to be putting pine bark nuggets in it. I got the mini ones, though I would rather have the large nuggets, but they were quite a bit more expensive than the mini ones, and I'm not doing it for looks. I'm doing it to add some drainage down the bottom and give it something to feed the bed over time. So we added our pine bark nuggets. What I didn't show you is before I put them in, I put some wood in there. I got some split firewood and some sticks, and I threw a little of the old pine straw on there. So next we're going to add dirt. Got the garden bed soil added, 2 bags of pine nuggets, 4 bags of garden soil, and probably going to get, well, I am going to get some cow manure to put on the top and sort of mix it in. But doesn't look bad for a $28 bed. I think is what it's going to end up being. I think they were $56 for 2. So not a bad little deal. It's 3 foot wide, 6 foot long. Got one more to go. It's a little more unlevel, going to take a little more work, and I got an important date tonight with my grandchildren to go out to eat.